Looks like it's been a absolute ocean of insanity so far. If Crashgate was a season, it would be the 2026 season. This is what I feel. Let's see what we got here. Q3 starts and Max Verstappen, he's already gone. Just just gone. Looks like gods can bleed. I don't know that. He starts the race and he's gone. That's just foreshadowing for what is to come. Right after him, Antonelli's gone. And I think he made Q2 or something. No. Antonelli's gone too. And that's just totaled. The car is just gone. He was just ejected. Max Verstappen was like, what are you gonna do? But Antonelli, this man's got something to prove. And it was bad. I didn't think he would come back. But props to the Mercedes team. They fixed his car. And I hope it's not Williams 2023 again or something where Albon just kept exploding the car and they kept fixing it. 2023, 2024. I think 24 was the thing. Yeah. Regardless, foreshadowing alert, so many crashes. I mean, the race had just everybody crashed. Max Verstappen, Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Valtteri Bottas. Who else? Nicholas Latifi. Oh no, not that guy. Who's the other guy? That doesn't matter. Just the entire planet. Everybody crashed. The race was basically a bowling alley. It just crashed. Everybody crashed. These new regulations, man, I don't get them. So you would think, saving energy and going green is all about it being efficient. I think it's the exact opposite. There's nothing efficient about what we see here. Looks like what we have in store for us is this. How do I say this? It's this power engineering. Everything's done by computers, folks. That's it. Computers have always run the thing, and now they're running it more. Essentially, that's like the gist of it. And these demons on wheels who are trained to completely control this hellraiser of a vehicle have to depend on a bunch of ones and zeros to, not break their necks. So that's what's going on. Okay, so let's go back into the race. Let's see what happened. Look, Mercedes, we are so back. These guys, they were just itching to come back into the podium, and I think they've taken it. There is nothing stopping them now. I mean, George Russell is doing walk and talk interviews. Who the hell does that? Which active, amazing, whatever pole position racer does walk and talk interviews? What the hell? Anyway, so yeah, Mercedes just figured the shit out. They have an engine that could essentially send a man to the moon. So yeah, they're gonna win everything this season. That's what it looks like. I mean, George Russell is on point this season. Let's just face it, folks. This man, I call him the anti-Max Verstappen, but I think he's basically Max Verstappen, but without the emotional aspect. Max Verstappen is a god with one little crutch. You know what it is. He gets angry. There's only one creature on this planet which can tick him off. It's not Lewis Hamilton or Bottas or, I don't know, mole on his ass. It's George Russell. Woody himself. Mr. Yabba Dabba Doo. This guy, the thorn in Max Verstappen's back face, thorn in his George Russell. This man has done it this season. You give him a good car, he'll find a way to win. It's gonna be a fun ride studying this fellow. Yeah, Mercedes has figured this out. Antonelli, props to him. He came in P2. Merck 1-2. Good start to the season. I mean, a great start to the season. Good foreshadowing of what's to come. Looks like they're going to dominate everything. Ferrari number 3, out of nowhere. Look, the hype train begins. So everybody says the Antonelli hype train has begun. Fine, whatever. There's no chance. Championship back on with Antonelli and Russell. Russell's gonna take the cake whenever they get a good strategy or any option he get. He'll find a way to win. It's the Ferrari hype train. Everybody thinks they can figure this shit out. They can win or whatever. But lo and behold, the Ferrari strategy comes upon us. They had this amazing opportunity when Isaac Hajar just stopped driving. His car just started smoking at one point, and everybody pit. They could have pit, and they did not pit. It was just like McLaren last season. I don't know which racetrack it was. It's just didn't pit, and Hamilton, on cue, asked, "What just happened, folks? What is first?" They could have just pit one guy. Either one. These both legends of the sport. It just Ferrari strategy just gave them a P3 when they should have clearly had a P2 at least. Come on. But good for Hamilton. After a long time, I see some happiness on his face. He's sad and happy. It's like a bittersweet moment for him. He could have been P3. It could have been a Ferrari 2-3, but lo and behold, Ferrari strategy. So here's what I understood, folks. When it comes to the engines, the Mercedes has done it. They figured out the engines. And when it comes to the chassis and aero, Ferrari seems to have an edge. Everybody knows the rotisserie chicken flaps that they have in the back. I think they want to bring it in China, let's see. But whatever it is, the Death Star that is Mercedes has to be stopped, and we have Ferrari to deal with it. I mean, nothing is more hilarious than that they now want to do shit. Let's just face facts. Everybody says they might try. Whoever these people are, they're all crazy or just stupid. I think both, I would say. Anyway, that's the story with Ferrari and Merc. Going to Red Bull. Red Bull had made a pretty decent car, is what I thought. And then this happened. Max Verstappen took a small turn, and all the power came into his car, and the man just crashed into the wall, almost like the original crash with him and Hamilton. Remember that? Yeah, this was insane. I don't know how these people do it, man. Like, anyway, so he crashed into the wall. That was over. Turns out he just took a turn and he got his complete rear just gave out because apparently there was too much power loaded and he just went right into the wall, which was insane. That never happens to anybody, and oh well, that's that. Then there is, yeah, but computers control everything now. They always have, but now it's just worse. Going back to the race, Verstappen crashed. That sucked on Q3, and he had to go to P20. Man, this guy, dude. Somehow, I don't know how he does this. He claws his way through, even in this car. Just it's not, the car's not shit. This is shit regulations, okay? Let's just face fact. The car is pretty good. Ford somehow has built a decent enough powertrain to give enough juice into that vehicle to overtake like crazy. This man has to be stuck with the heathens in P20 and finds his way to claw back into P6 in a car that is just glitching out. Just imagine you're walking along minding your own business and random banana peels just show up everywhere you walk. Just for you. Just slip away, please. That's basically what the Red Bull car is right now. These regulations have, somebody has to do something about this, man. It's crazy. Either way, he found a way to fall back into victory. Not victory, P6, whatever. And he had a lot to say. The man he is not happy with the regulations. When they asked him, what do you think of the race or something, I don't know what he said. But regardless, at one point, I think he said, I'm just going to replace my car's steering wheel with a Nintendo Switch. Because that's what this season is. This just Mario Kart on wheels, folks. And there is no ways to get around it. And that's what it looks like. So Verstappen, not happy. Not happy at all. That could just be the story, the entire Melbourne. Which is Verstappen's not happy. The race sucked. George Russell won. That's basically, well, the race didn't suck. That's a different story. But Verstappen not happy. Car spinning. George Russell won. That could be the entire summary of 2026 Melbourne Grand Prix. Okay, so that was that. Let's see what happened to the heroes of the last season, McLaren. Boy, oh boy. McLaren's got some trouble on their hands. The car seems fine, but they're back in the midfield. Take a pay cut, folks. Take a pay cut. McLaren seems to say Mercedes is hiding things. They're not giving them the right engine, paying a little bit of a, hush hush on it. Of course, the signers say that's impossible. I don't believe them. Regardless, McLaren, they got a disaster in their hands. Piastri, my boy. Piastri is one of my most hopeful racing drivers after Max Verstappen. Piastri is somebody I really want him to win because he's like this everyman, every kid who just found his way into F1 just because he was never the best. He was always good enough and he just slowly found his way up. Same with the other guy, Norris. This guy was literally like an intern. I remember Lando Norris used to like bring coffee Alonso. Like the guy was a kid. These two are wonderful stories. So I'm just saddened by what happened to Piastri. Looks like same issue. Just Piastri just went right into the wall. There was some pressure, and then the car just exploded. It's a bit of driver error and the software. I'm gonna call it software error. Piastri is not that bad. It was a disaster for Piastri. He was dejected. His dejected face is just horrible. He has nothing. He's just dead inside when this happened. He apparently takes a corner. The race has not even started because I don't know, was it the formation lap? No, regardless, the race had not started. He was just taking a turn and boom, right into the wall. This is just awful. He took a turn and right into the wall. Some sort of a driver error mixed with software glitch. It's a mix of both. Speaking of starts, right after Piastri crashed, the race starts and the race is going amazing. Say what you want about the regulations, there are some glitches in the regulations which makes overtaking amazing. The car battles were wonderful. There was a battle in the back between Ocon and Gasly and I don't remember. There was a nice battle in the back and a very, very good battle in the front. The battle in the front was, I mean, talk of legends. Legends from the 80s or something. These are like super battles. Okay, the race starts and Hajar immediately from P3, he goes right into P4 and he keeps dropping. That's something interesting. Nobody talks about, but I'll come back to it. Then race starts. Immediately Leclerc gets an amazing start. I think he takes the lead and it's amazing. It's out of nowhere. Nobody expected Leclerc to be like taking the lead so quickly. He just lunges forward and lo and behold, Leclerc and Russell just battle it out. George and Leclerc just at it, just punch for punch. That's one good thing about these regulations, even though it's a nightmare to deal with the cars and software. The races are amazing. The races are just on point. We're going to have some good battles this season. That's what I feel. So it was one lap, one guy up front, the next lap, the next guy. It was just Russell, Leclerc, Russell, Leclerc, Russell, Leclerc. It was crazy. And we almost had a through goes Hamilton moment. Right as this happening, lo and behold, the next crash happens. Is a Hajar just completely gone. Just gone. He kept complaining that something happened and his car starts smoking. These regulations are horrible. Apparently some hydraulics failure or whatever. But what's happening basically is the cars are these demons from hell controlled by essentially crazy people. And they're used to controlling these behemoth machines completely on their own with software assistance. But now it looks like the software is taking major decisions inside of the car and they're supposed to work in parallel with the driver. They should be essentially one entity, but it's not working out. Every time they turn on every corner, they have to essentially slow down to recharge their battery. And once the battery is recharged, you can get like a good launch when you need it. So it's basically a Mario Kart, jump on the mushroom, move fast kind of thing. The rules have just become Mickey Mouse regulations or Nintendo regulations. That's what's going to happen. We're just going to look for power-ups and boosts at this point. Anyway, so what happens is on the corners, you slow down to recharge and move forward. But right as you brake in the corner, something glitches out. You can either crash or you can have some sort of a failure where there's too much torque delivered into the tires while you turn and the rear just immediately locks. You remember when I think it was Leclerc who crashed in Brazil because his car gave out? So when there's extreme torque, the car immediately panics and everything just shuts off. And when this happens, the car is in trouble and that's the end. So that's what happened to the Hajar. While he's going, his engine is just being weird. He's not getting enough power. And then slowly the torque of the engine and his acceleration are not talking together properly. Lo and behold, hydraulic failure. Anyway, so he didn't crash it. He was riding so well. He qualified P3 in that shit box, you know. So yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens with Isaac Hajar. He's one of my favorite drivers. Really, like, Yuki Tsunoda was my hope. And now it's Isaac Hajar. I really hope he puts him all to shame. He did it last season. The Hajar incident was just foreshadowing for what's going to happen next. This is something I forgot to say. Right as the race started, before the Hajars, they have like lap 14 or something. And before that, there was another incident with Colo Pinto. These F1 drivers are on peak form. That's the only thing I can say. Remember how Hajar had this tunnel incident in Monaco where he had to quickly take maneuvering actions in F2? The same thing happened with Colapinto. Liam Lawson is trying to, rev up the engine, and his car is getting no power. For some reason, his car is getting no power, and he's slowing down out of nowhere. These cars are going in so fast, and imagine one of them just suddenly slowed down. You're essentially going into a brick wall. Colapinto out of nowhere just immediately turns, saves himself with the skin of his teeth. There was an Audi in the back, and he could have completely T-boned and broken in half. It was scary. Somehow he escapes. That's another one for the books of the bad the regulation issues. Moving forward, that was an incident. Then there were nice battles in the back and nice battles in the front. I think Ocon and some one of the Audi guys had a battle, and lo and behold, immediately another DNF, or no, whatever, Protas is out. Cadillac is out. Done. Perez battles with who is this guy? Ocon and Colapinto. Okay, fine. That was that. They came fighting. That was fun to watch, but nothing came of it. I think it was Ocon who was fighting. Regardless, it was an interesting race. It went on. After that was largely a boring race. Just a bunch of people going around the circles. Something interesting happened after that. Ferrari's strategy screwed up after Hazard. I think I said that. Anything else? Let me see here. Yeah, essentially that's that. There was a 15 lap down incident for, I think, Alonso. Stroll just gave up mid race or something. Something happened. His thing was out. Alonso had a 15 lap down situation where essentially there were 15 more laps left in the race or something. Their car just sucks, dude. I don't know what's going on at Aston Martin. They're in trouble. That was that. These energy management issues and there's a big pain. They have to figure this out. There are lots of issues with the software. Software is the new enemy. The software controls everything. It always had. Now it's just taken over, and like I said, it's a problem. I think we mentioned everything. Oh yes, the rookie, Arvid Lemblad. Boy, oh boy. Now, Arvid Lemblad, I thought he was a good, well, fine racer. I didn't expect much. But, man, this kid's got something. I don't expect it. I don't like his general attitude, by the way. A little too cocky for the new kid. At 18 years old, another maybe legend is born. We got to keep an eye on this dude. Arvid Lemblad, I think, came in P8. I think, yeah, that's what happened. P8. Arvid Lemblad. Let me just look it up 1 second. Yeah, Arvid Lemblad, P8. Who the hell expected that? This guy was jumping. He's just chopping his way through. That's the thing with this regulation. You can overtake if you're like smart enough with the energy management, but it's crazy. There's that, and then there is like out of nowhere explosions and crashes, and it's a weird situation. So yeah, our Leblad, props to this guy. And Audi. Everybody expected Audi to suck. Everybody expected it to not have anything. But Audi has done something amazing. Gabriel Bortoleto, another future legend. People sleep on this guy. There's got something in them. He got points. David Lundblad on debut got points. That's a big deal. Gabriel Bortoleto got points in an Audi. This is literally their first race essentially, and they got points. Racing Bulls is in the points in the first race. When was the last time that happened? That's insane. Kimi Antonelli came two. Like, Kimi Antonelli, he's a kid. I would still consider him a rookie, and he's number 2. What a race. At the end, the race was chaos, insanity, and hope. That's what I see in the race. Then some light at the end of the tunnel for Alpine. Alonso from France to Pierre Gasly did it again. Somehow found a way to get Alpine into the points. I don't know how it happened. I just looked. I was like, what, is that an Alpine? Alpine? No, that's an Alpine. Alpine is in the points. Cool maneuver by Colapinto and Alpine on the points. That's good for the race. So that was the race. A good race. In chaos and insanity, and somehow heartwarming. Somehow good. So yeah, I think that's what we can expect in these races. This overtaking system will give a nice boost, similar to Formula E. I think they're gonna have to get these Formula E guys as consultants. Somebody suggests getting who's the guy who came into Williams and he was kicked out? Mahindra driver. Nick DeFries. Somebody suggested let's get Nick DeFries in here to give some idea, because Red Bull needs on this point. Yeah, Formula E's been doing this for a while. Maybe they can take some pointers from them or get them as a consultant or as a driver or something. Otherwise, yeah, that was the race. Another few things we want to talk about is how this This entire season is going to be Merc domination and an engineer run system. Basically, of course, it was a team that made the car, but this time it's going to be a lot more of the team effort and the engineering effort. Engineers might be the real MVPs this season because at least this race they were, because Antonelli's car was completely totaled. It was a goner, and they figured it out. And yeah, this might be an engineer's season because they have to figure out the software, they have to figure out the hardware, they have to talk together. It's a whole menace. So yeah, let's look into that. That'll be the case. The teams are still figuring out the power units. No, the power units are fine. They're just figuring out the regulations. They have to find a way to get these softwares to work. Everybody's having trouble with it. Everybody's complained. The only person who didn't complain was Lando Norris, and I think George Russell and Kimi Antonelli never really talks. Most of the big guys complained. Finally, Lando Norris opened up. Even, of course, what's his name? He was looking for mushrooms. Leclerc said I was looking for mushrooms on the road to get more booster points or something like that. And then finally, George Russell opened up saying, yeah, they got to figure this out. So it looks like it's going to be a big situation between the FIA and the FOM. For once, it's not was the FIA president. There's not Ben Sulayem this time. This guy can take a break. To Stefano Domenicali who has to deal with it because Max Verstappen is not happy. Yeah, everybody has been very vocal about their issues, but Max has been on a tear. This man has no filter. He just says things as he sees it, and he is just given up. Out of nowhere, or like a few days after the race, he is in a Mercedes. Max is throws out this random video on YouTube where it's a dude on top of I think a busted out nuclear power plant, a guy in a parachute jumping into a car, and the person driving the car is Max Verstappen, and the car is a Red Bull branded Mercedes. I mean, I could not write this story. I mean, I knew he was about to go into Mercedes, to drive in the GT series, I guess. Now, anyway, Max is completely clearly pursuing his GT driving dreams. Basically, he's apparently driving for a Mercedes banded Red Bull car in this new endurance race. He's on it. He's saying his whole idea is basically every other sports people get a basketball player can always buy basketball and try playing basketball with his buddies. A football player can get a football, but a racing driver can't get a car. That's insane. This is apparently his way of staying in shape. All props to you, my guy. Figure the shit out. I mean, the truth basically is those cars are not as software heavy as these insanities. So he's clearly indicating that he's going to go away, and Stefano is not happy. This is basically a battle between FIA and FOM. FIA is given all freedom to people as long as they're technically clear and they're not being critical. Max this time is not being critical. He's just saying facts, and the facts are very evident. So, and FOM are not happy. FOM is the media arm of the F1 series, and they want Max to calm down. Max is not going to calm down. So that's another interesting situation. After all of this boiling incident, after all of this chaos, finally the FIA have agreed to take a look at the regulations in China, and there might be some serious changes. But what I see, it looks like they just gonna have to figure out this shit. It was just like the flexi wings in 2023. You figure out the flexi wings, and suddenly some people go down, some people go up. It'll be the same thing. So they'll bring up some regulations to do some mid-season changes, and eventually the folks, the racing guys, will figure out the racing. Everybody says this is kind of like it's fake. Everything is fake, and that's not fake. There are how do I say this? Enhancements in every part of the race. DRS was never a thing before. Now DRS is a thing. There were cool slick tires, compound tires, whatever, they work in the rain. So there are always new things that come in every season, and this is just one of them. These like the ground effect error cars were not something Max liked at all, and Max adapted to it. Lewis did not. So it's going to be a situation where people are going to adapt. People are going to find a way. It's going to be tough this season. At least till the middle of the season, it's going to be a Merc domination. Then we'll see what happens. Ferrari has a lot of chances, but I don't trust those guys. I think it's going to be Mercedes, McLaren, somebody else, sometimes maybe Red Bull, or a third team out of nowhere. Also, Williams, nowhere, by the way. Sari Valls, what the hell are you doing, bro? It sucks, but he's back to being shit again. For the hopeless situation with Williams. This might be the wildest season yet. We'll have to wait and see. Hoping for China. China's gonna be okay. The sprint race. I never really liked the sprint format. Why is there a race before a race? Then I sort of understood. It's like it's good for the audience. If there's somebody there, they can see a race. They don't have to pay as much, and the drivers seem to like it now. So yeah, I am pretty sure it'll be a Hamilton. Hamilton will win this. Everybody thinks Hamilton will win all. Just because he won before doesn't mean he'll win again. Hamilton is going to be fine. He's lost his way. He's not as good, so he's going to be fine. Just need you. Okay, here's the thing with Hamilton. You make one tiny glitch and he's screwed. Okay. He famously said, if you build me a car which is 100% accurate, I will drive it 99% of the way or 90% of the way. Something like that is what he said. He's not somebody who pushes the car to the limit. He's no Max Verstappen. And on top, he's not on his prime. So if you expect Hamilton to take victory in China, think again, folks. He might get a nice sprint win again, maybe just like last time. And then there will be like videos praising him, saying that he's beating the odds. The truth is, when it ends the race, he's not going to win. Whoever is going to win is going to be George. That's going to be the case because these guys are on. That car's a rocket ship. It's not even on wheels at this point. It's basically flying with wheels are just there for show. So Russell's going to win this. Russell's got this in the bag. I think Russell's going to win the sprint. Russell's going to win the race. Antonelli in and out. Antonelli is promising. He's got some fire in his eyes. He was not happy with the second. That's what I hear. And he's not gonna. There's no pressure on him, but we'll see. He might be the top three. Then Leclerc might be up there because might be very much same as Melbourne when it comes to the main race in China. Also might be the same. Maybe Max can find a way or Hajar can find a way. That'd be amazing if Hajar's in the race. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's what we see here, folks. Lots of chaos, lots of action coming to us this season. It's gonna be a fun one. Let's enjoy this ride.